short. I try to make these videos either based off things that people have asked me to talk about or that I'm noticing myself, or two, based off my personal experience. And right now, what's really resonating with me is feeling frustration with your guides, specifically when the guides aren't guiding. You feel me? I know that one of the things that I decided to work on before I incarnated here was patience. Patience in so many different forms, and I feel like I have been especially pushed to work on my patience this past year. But with that lack of patience, sometimes it's easy for me to get frustrated when things aren't going my way, and so then I look at my guides and I'm like, okay, well, how can we make this thing go my way? And with the nature of your spiritual guides, me asking that question in that way, it doesn't necessarily work like that. I think it can be really easy for us to fall into the mindset of just like, okay, clearly what I'm doing isn't taking me to where I want to go, so just tell me what I need to do. Point me in the right direction and I will walk that path. But I have to remind myself that there would be no point in me incarnating on this plane and experiencing growth if I could just default to asking something outside of myself or something else on suggestions for what I should do. Which is why so many of these tarot readers get so many views, and we can't help but be curious when we see these suggestions pop up on like TikTok or YouTube, because either A, we want to know that we're going in the right direction, we want to be validated, or B, we want to know what should we do next to be where we want to be. And so I said all of that for this point, which is your relationship with your guides does not work like that. Number one, I think myself included, we all have to realize that there is no separation between you and your guides. On a freaking insane level, there is a version of yourself that is acting as your own guide. I've said this before, but when you do shadow work and you go back in time in your mind and you're talking to your inner child, you are a guide for your inner child at that moment, and that process repeats itself through your whole entire life. There's always an older version of yourself guiding a younger version of you. And so for you to look at your guides and say, what should I do next? They can't really answer that for you, because it is you making that decision. They can't make a decision for you. Two, I'm still wrapping my mind around this myself and learning what I can, but you have to think about all the different realities that exist. Every decision you make, in a way, is a different reality. You choosing to put on a red shirt is different from the reality you chose when you picked out that black shirt. And so with all these infinite possibilities, when you see things in tarot, or even when you go to get a reading, they are reflecting to you your current reality at that specific time, which can change at any moment. And this whole thing is about perspective. I personally think perspective is king on the earth realm. So your perspective of, why aren't my guides just telling me, just giving me something, pointing me in the right direction of what I need to do to be where I want to be, you see that as frustrating, right? But if you change your perspective, you can also look at that as in, holy shit, I have the reins on where I want my life to go. And the only thing holding me back from that is just trying shit. Keep in mind that I do understand that is a very privileged statement. Not everybody is in the position to just wing things all the time. So my deepest apologies if that doesn't necessarily help you, but at the basis of it all, I just want to help share the understanding that no one is gonna hop in and save you, and that is a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. And I think that's where the notion of you have to work your ass off to get where you want to go comes from. But really, it's all about you have to help yourself, whether that's choosing to do physical work, or that's choosing to use the power of your mind to manifest spiritually, get into witchcraft and make that magic happen yourself, or with coordination with some other higher power. Tangent, I'm sorry. But that's the message today. When you get frustrated that your guides aren't responding in the way that you want them to, because they're responding. Either we're not hearing it or we're not seeing it. But when you get frustrated like that, it's really you just getting frustrated at yourself, which when I realized that, just made me more frustrated, and it just, I understand you. So, yeah. Chin up. You're doing great. And take it day by day, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for being here.